What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets and their attendance numbers, because they have been down this year. It's not a secret. It's been something that's been talked about, here and there all season long, but now it has been getting some attention. Gary Bettman, of course, is going to be in Winnipeg to meet with some executives, some corporations, some of the team's big sponsors, to try to figure out a plan to get asses back in seats here in Winnipeg. In this video, I'm going to be talking about really why there's such an issue right now with attendance. For people that don't know, maybe you don't live in Winnipeg, maybe you're trying to figure out the whole situation, I'm going to explain to you why there is an issue with it right now, and it's really not as dramatic as a lot of people are making it out to be, in my opinion. When the Jets moved from Atlanta to Winnipeg, they had to sell 13,000 season tickets to make it happen. They did that pretty much less than a day. It was awesome. The city bought in, and we were just really excited to have hockey back in Winnipeg. Considering it's a 15,000 and change seat arena, and you're selling 13,000 season tickets right off rip, that's crazy, right? So that's a big thing. But as the years have gone on, the Jets had success. In 17-18, that was probably their peak as a franchise, to this point anyway. They were electric, probably could have won a Stanley Cup in that 2018 run there. But since then, the Jets haven't really done anything memorable. They haven't done anything great. The on-ice product has been diminishing, and the message from the organization is, we're going to keep running it back, right? And it really just has not worked in the last 5 years, with the exception of this season, but they actually, made some changes, and there's a reason why the team is so good now. But those previous 5 years after the 2018 Cup run were a disaster. Really just empty promises of being a good team, saying, hey, we believe in these guys, even though they've done absolutely nothing to make us believe it. Like, they're just trying to sell it to the fans, saying that, hey, you know what, this is a good team, you just have to believe, when it's just very clearly not a great team. Been knocked out in the first round pretty much every year, with the exception of the one season where the Jets swept the Oilers in the bubble. But after that, they got swept by the Canadiens in the next round. So it really didn't feel great. And, it is what it is. Those Jets teams just weren't that good. And the GM, the coach, the organization trying to hype them up to be this team that they weren't, really turned fans off. But at the end of the 22-23 season, that was the one that was absolutely the end for so many people here with their season tickets in Winnipeg. And I don't blame them. If I had seasons, they would have been canceled immediately. They had a commercial running, this promo going, that it was like almost like a Save the Jets campaign back in the day. It was weird. They were like threatening the team to move, like very subtly, but they were like, hey, remember how much it sucked losing the Jets the first time? Well, that could happen again if you don't buy season tickets. And not only does that totally miss the mark, not only is that totally tone deaf, but like, why would you want to do that? Like, that is so entitled and such a, scummy way of marketing your team's ticket sales. What the fuck is wrong with you guys, right? And Mark Chipman's talked about that in an article and everything like that, saying that, hey, we missed the mark with that. That wasn't our intention. Bullshit. That was absolutely your intention. You were trying to scare the fans into buying season tickets, and it didn't work. You fucked it up, and you ended up losing a lot of your season ticket holders, and that's why your attendance is so bad this year. And one more thing I want to mention, one thing that really turned me off, was when the Jets played Game 3 and 4 in the playoffs against the Vegas Golden Knights. They lost both of those games. I was at the Whiteout party for Game 4, and they shot fireworks off at the end of the game, even though the Jets lost. I believe it was like 3-1 or something, because, hey, you know what? We can't waste these fireworks we purchased, so we're going to blow them off anyway. That was hilarious, leaving the Whiteout party with fireworks going off with a Jets loss, going down 3-1 in the series. Like, what are you guys doing? So this felt like a massive smack in the face to myself, lots of Jets fans, everything, and a lot of people canceled their seasons. It's not hard to figure out why they're having bad ticket sales this year. No kidding. No wonder you guys are having a bad year, because you guys just disrespected the fans all year last year and the years prior, selling a product that sucked, and then wondering why you're not selling tickets. The attendance on average is about 2,000 empty seats per game. That's bad. The Jets don't have a lot of sellouts this season, and it's pretty embarrassing considering they're one of the smallest arenas in the NHL. But even with all of this, even with, all the embarrassing shit that they've done in the past, all of the stuff where they've, tried to falsely pump their own tires, they can still fix this incredibly easy. Right now, the Jets are one of the best teams in the NHL. They're a lot of fun, and they could go on a pretty deep playoff run here. what do the Jets as an organization need to do? Well, they need more corporate sponsors, and they need their existing corporate sponsors to buy in some more. The reason for this is because they have been taking their fans for granted, and you know, losing those fans has eventually run them dry. They don't have any more people buying season tickets, so now they need to go beg those people to come back and then get corporate sponsors as well, right? Because the corporate sponsors make up most of the season ticket holders around the NHL. That's just a fact. Most of the arenas are majority corporate holders. So now, you know, this quote here from an Athletic article, we've had to reinvent ourselves, says Mark Chipman. For 10 years, we weren't a sales organization, we were a service organization, and I'm not sure that we were that good of a service organization, to be honest with you. So at least he's honest, because, you know, we all know here in Winnipeg, they are not. So if they go out, they go get some of those, you know, bigger corporations to buy into the team. The way the team's playing right now and the way the team has committed to being good for a long time, I think is a step in the right direction. You know, this isn't the same aimless team that we've had for the past 5 years now. They've turned the corner. They've picked a direction. They don't have that 1 foot in, 1 foot out mentality anymore. It seems like they're going to have hopefully a pretty deep playoff run this year if everything keeps going the way it's going. And I think that's going to turn a lot of people around, and I think that ticket sales are going to be going back up, and I don't think it will take very long either. Currently, there is a Winnipeg Jets all-in program being pushed right now, and basically you just put down a deposit for playoff tickets. I believe it's around $250, and you have to have a commitment to next season for season tickets. And I don't know if that's, you know, different kind of packages. I don't know if you can get, like, you know, different kind of bundles like 5 games, or if it's a commitment to a whole season. I'm not really sure how that works, but if it's, you know, you can pick your bundle or anything like that, I think that's awesome. I think that's a good way to go about that, and maybe that's something they should have done last season, because the, you know, Forever Winnipeg campaign that they had last year was absolutely not it. That was the most tone-deaf shit I've ever seen, and that was one of the biggest smacks in the face I've ever felt as a Jets fan from the organization, and it really pissed me off. That, you know, if you've been here on the channel for over a year or so, you know I was spitting bullets. That was an insane time. I couldn't believe that was happening, but it does seem like they're taking steps in the right direction. Gary Bettman's going to be here next week, trying to figure everything out, have some meetings, figure out a plan. And I think once the plan's in place and we actually get the ball rolling here, I think you're going to see attendance shoot up. Maybe not immediately this season, but next season I think we'll see a big difference in, you know, asses in seats. I don't think that this is going to be a lingering issue. Of course, people are going to jump on this and be like, oh my god, this is crazy, the Jets are moving. It's just not that deep, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm wrong for not being super panicked about this, but I really don't think it's that crazy. There just hasn't been a plan in place, so put a plan in place, and let's get it going, baby. At the end of the day, this really shouldn't have been a shock to anybody. Of course the Jets season tickets were going to be falling. Of course attendance was going to be falling. After what they did last season, that was one of the most poorly managed things I've ever seen, and right now, they're eating their foot for doing it. But right now, Mark Chipman needs to sit down, have some honest conversations with himself, with the corporate sponsors, with Gary Bettman, and say, look, yeah, I fucked up. We're going to go get it done now. We're going to go figure it out. We're going to go right or wrong. So I hope I'm right about this. You know, in a few weeks, if it comes out that, you know, stuff isn't going right, then maybe we start to panic a little bit. Maybe then we start to talk about, okay, what's going on here, right? The Jets have their work cut out for them. They do need to hit that 13,000 season ticket holder mark once again. I think they'll be able to do it. I have some faith. I think people are going to return, and I think that if they put a plan together here, they will be fine. But that's just my opinion. How do you feel about it? Leave a comment down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.